Hey guys, Biz from The Casual Athlete. Welcome back to our channel. Look, today I'm going to go through all the fallers after preseason week one, all the names that are we were hot on or interested in who, look, I'm not saying they're not interesting anymore, but they're not as exciting as they were about 5 days ago. So let's get straight into it. The first is the Raiders cheapies. Now we've got Ethan Strange, we've got KO Weeks, we've got Nick Cottridge. You can throw Xavier Savage in there. Look, they smashed Parramatta. I hate saying that, but they belted us on like 38-16. None of these guys put up a noteworthy fantasy performance. I'll start with Strange. He had the dominant 7-roll, mid-30s points. Weeks scored a try in the halves, mid-20s or low 30s. Cottridge, 15, 20 points. Savage, he looked pretty good at the wing, but with Rapana coming back, I don't know if he's going to get that spot. But look, at their price, you pretty much have to get them in if they're starting week one. The problem is we don't know who's going to miss it because Sebastian Krish is not going to be there week one because of suspension. He could replace any of them. He could replace whoever's in the centers, Weeks or, Strange, whoever's in the halves week one could get dropped. It is a mess. I think you have to start them, but they are not worthy of a top 17 spot after watching week one. Now, I know I said I had Strange as my starting center and Cottridge probably my starting wing fullback, but I want to sack them to my, end of the squad. I don't think I can really trust them week in, week out to start the season. Unfortunately, we're getting a bit colder on the Raiders' backs. Next one here is I don't know what Canva put in these animations. I don't really need that. Anyway, Ben Trebojevic, look, he is 250K. He's won that starting spot. The next name on this list make a lot of sense, but he played about 55 minutes for 17, 18 points. Bit lackluster. To be completely fair, they were playing a studded Roosters or stacked Roosters team, and obviously, man, they were missing a lot of key players. So he has a lot of upside. I think with Ben Trebojevic, I'm not sure if he gets 80 minutes on the edge. I think Schuster, even if he's not starting, will get minutes. Olakwatu is obviously playing 80 minutes. So if Schuster and Trebojevic are in a timeshare, I don't think Berber has the pedigree to score high enough in fantasy. I know he's available at center, but do you want to trust a guy who'll give you 15, 20 points every week? Actually, now that I said that, I do trust a guy who scores 15, 20 any week because that is legendary amongst centers. So I've talked myself out of it. He's not really a faller. If he's playing 50 minutes and scoring 15, 20 points, I'll take it at 250K. He's probably still my starting center. So that's Ben Trebojevic. Who's the next guy on my list? These animations, man. Okay, Josh Schuster. Look, missed preseason week one. Not a sure bet to play week one in Vegas. By all reports, he's had a very odd preseason. He's had chicken pox. He's done his finger. He's had calf strains continuously. It looks like he's losing favor. Now, they did sign him on a big contract, and I think he's got so much talent. I just really don't know where it's gone wrong from his rookie season on the edge, where he was one of the best rookies, to now he's kind of been in and out of the side. It looks like they're losing faith in him. I'm a big fan of Schuster just from the one season he had. I think it's always exciting to have these big boys who have halfback style skills. I'm hoping he gets that spot. I'm hoping he's fit round one, but he is falling rapidly. He was one of the most owned players at the start of the preseason. Now he's probably not on many teams. Come on, Schuster, get fit. I want to see you out there. You're a fun guy to watch. Next guy on this list. Okay, Brendan Piakora. Now you might be thinking, this guy just scored a double in half a game of footy, stack of points. Everyone's on him. Why is he a faller? Only one reason. Clickbait. No, I'm kidding. It's not clickbait. It kind of is clickbait. But he is potentially injured for week one. He did pick up a knee injury, I believe, at the back end of the game. 50-50 at this stage, but obviously if there's a bit of doubt he's not playing round one, I think you could stash him. But, these kind of injuries are lingering. Broncos have a strong pack. They can cover him potentially. They might not rush him back. If he's not there week one, I think you have to stay off him. But I don't think there's too much risk now. Keep an eye out for the news. He's not really a faller, but we are cooling off on him, just given that he might miss week one. All right, Josh Curran. Why is he on this list? Look, I watched the Bulldogs in the preseason game against the Storm. They look pretty good. Yes, I know Storm weren't fielding a full-strength team. Why is Curran a faller? Well, in his all-star performance game, he looked all right. He played on the edge, about 36 points in 58 minutes. That's about in line with his current historical performances at the edge. If he played 80 minutes, it's a pretty strong performance. So why is he a fool, you ask? Jamin Salmon. Now, they started him at lock, and he looked good. And if you watch the highlights or you watch the recording of the game like we did, Bulldogs were playing that old school dog style that they did 5-10 years ago with James Graham, etc., where they're taking it up to the line and their forwards are ball playing. Now, Salmon, as an ex-half, has that ability to play out the back. He's a better ball player than Curran. Is he more talented than Curran? No, I'm not saying that. I'm a massive Josh Curran fan. I think he's been way so. I know he's had off-field issues, but I would have loved Paris signing. But there is that potential factor that even if he does get the start over Salmon, that Salmon eats into his minutes because he did look pretty crisp out there. Maybe I'm reading into things, and week 2 of preseason will give us more color. But watch this space. Curran might not be that big minute lock we all expected. Salmon might vulture his minutes. The next guy on this list, well, I'm going to talk about the next two both at once. It's Jaden Campbell and David Feeders, my next guy. Why are they on this list? It's come out and said that they were previously 50-50 for round 1. Now, apparently, they're going to miss 4 to 5 weeks. So you can't touch them. Obviously, Fafita is the most expensive edge. You cannot carry him for 4 or 5 weeks. Who knows? It could stretch longer. Yeah, he might come back quicker, but you cannot have that much money just sitting there. Look, it's a real sad thing, but in terms of opportunities, who might be a riser for this, Keeney might take the fullback spot if they don't go back to Brimson straight away. Now, the reason it might be Keeney is, okay, Brimson's going to play centre for most of the season. Can't just rush him back there. Keeney's a young talent. He looked good at times last year. Let's give him the spot. In terms of who'll win from David Feeder being injured, look, there could be a number of guys who get that spot. I think Jacob Alick is his name. Last year, he looked pretty strong. I'm not even sure if he's out of the Tigers. I'm pretty sure he is. He looked like a fantasy weapon. Obviously, you got Beau Fermor coming back from injury, and there's a number of edges who can fill out there. The Haas boys and Isaac Simon Male. I butchered that name. I'm sorry, Isaac. I'm sorry about that. I don't want to try that again. But look, it's really sad to see Fafita and Jaden Campbell injured for the first 4 or 5 weeks. He's hoping for a fast recovery, but they are obviously losers from week 1 of the preseason. Sean Lane, now he's my boy. I'm loving this stash. I'm loving this photo. You're looking cool. But look, he captained the team on the weekend against the Raiders. Played about 30 minutes, 18 to 19 points. You extrapolate that to a full 80-minute performance. That's about 48 points, which is what you want from him as an owner. I think that's about 10 points above what he's priced at. Why is he a faller? Look, man, the Eels have got tons of talent in the edge position. Kelma Tuolangi have come over from Manly. He was potentially the best forward on the park for the Eels, 57 points in fantasy and looked good. Eels have Madison, who can obviously play on the edge. They've got Cardi and Lane, who are the starting edges. They've got Tuolangi now. They had Hopgood, who played on the edge for a bit. They've just got a lot of potential talent out there. And so Lane, he'll definitely get big minutes, don't get me wrong. But Lane needs 80 minutes. 60 minutes are not going to cut it. So if you're on Sean Lane, and we think that boys are going to cut into his role and he might get 60, 65 minutes, he's a no-go for me. If he's still an 80-minute player, he's still, I think, a great option in the edge, but there's a lot of competition for spots at the Eels, and Tuolangi's performance on Saturday did not do him any favours. All right, Carl Flanagan. Now, I'm obviously hot on Flanagan. We've hyped him up. There was pros and cons. He had a 25-odd point performance. They got smashed by the Rabbits. And fair enough, Rabbits are one of the best teams. They weren't the number one Rabbits side. Like, they had quite a few reserve graders, no Damien Cook, no Latrell Mitchell. They've got suspensions. Obviously, Campbell Graham and stuff are injured. But what I did like about Carl Flanagan is he had a bit of work rate. He had about 8 kicks to Ben Hunt's 11. So he's getting enough of the playmaking. He didn't get the goals like I expected. Lomax kicked goals, and that is going to hurt. That could cost him. Probably not going to cost him anything because Dragons aren't kicking too many goals or scoring too many tries. Just kidding, Dragons fans. They should be all right. But Carl Flanagan, look, I think he's going to be a slow burner. He's probably not going to be a 40 guy, but he could be a mid-30s guy. Hopefully he can jag some tries and assists, and hopefully Dragons are a bit better than what they showed week 1 of the preseason. But I'm going to watch week 2 a bit more closely. But it was good to see him getting more kick meters than I expected. All right, the whole Roosters pack. Why have I got Crichton here? I've got Wong here. I've got Satili Tupanor. The reason they're all fallers is they're all so damn good. And Roosters have so many forwards. Like, they've got these guys. They've got Egan Butcher, Nat Butcher. They've got Connor Watson coming back. They've obviously bought Leniu. They've got Terrell May. Like, there's just too many. They had Jared Warrior-Hargraves out. They've obviously got Lindsay Collins. They've got so many good forwards, and they're just going to get in each other's way. Like, who knows who's getting 80 minutes? I think Nat Butcher might get 80 minutes. And Crichton, Tupanua, Wong, they might all get like 40 minutes each. None of them are worth it at that price. I think you're just going to have to wait and see round one. If any of them are getting an unexpected 80 minutes, hop on. But I don't think you can buy any Roosters player. I think the most interesting is Terrell May. He had a 46-point performance, kind of continue on the rich vein of form he had at the end of last year where he was scoring 50, 55, 45, 55. The problem is he's already priced near 40, so he's going to have a 50 average to be really worth his mid-range price point. Is he going to get there? He's a freak talent. He's got an insane motor. He scores at like 1.3 ppm, but his minutes are going to be inconsistent. He's going to have games where he gets 55. The next week he'll get like 30 points, and his price will just stall, and it's just not worth the headache. I know a lot of people have been inquiring about Terrell May, but I think the Roosters have too many guys. But look, they're a scary team. I know they didn't dispatch Manly like they should have, but if they get into form, they're going to be one of the best in the league. But yeah, that's all my fallers from week 1 of the preseason. Thanks for tuning in. I'm really looking forward to week 2 of the preseason. We've now covered the risers from each of the games. We've now covered the must-haves. And we'll catch you soon for the team list preview for week 2. Catch you later. Peace.